Hey, this is Gerry Visca, the publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the new issue, the Top 50 Health and Wellness Tips. We are super excited about the power and energy of this publication and the lineup of world-class experts that I'm truly inspired to shine a light on. This is an exciting live interview that we include in each issue of Defyeneurs, connected to each profile. So get ready, because we're going to London, Ontario, and we are live with Tasha Hughes. Tasha, welcome.
Hello, Gerry. Nice to speak with you today.
It's lovely to speak with you, Tasha. You have an extraordinary energy, a beautiful light, and I'm excited for listeners to just hear your voice and share in this energy. So I want to start off. There's a quote that you share, and it goes like this: "Why health and wellness? It is what I love. Good health impacts all of our choices and options." As you know, I'm really honored to have you featured in the top 50 health and wellness tips, and I want to get into and share with listeners, why did you decide to choose to serve others through health and wellness?
Well, as you mentioned in the quote, we have choices based first and foremost on our health and our wellness. If we don't have that, we don't have anything. And certainly if you spend any time around people that are sick or that are elderly, they will say that. They will impart that wisdom and say, do it while you're young, do it while you're healthy, because you never know when that's going to turn. And then your options that you thought were so grand very quickly narrow. And so I think it's really important that we do the things that we want to do today. And as we're moving into the second half of life, it's really important that we're thinking, okay, what do I need to do to take care of myself today so that I'm going to be around for my family as they grow older, that I'm going to be able to participate with my grandchildren as they grow older, that I'm going to be somebody that can participate in life and be vital and be a contributor, and not necessarily have other people having to take care of me, although, of course, we take care of each other. But, I think the more health we have, the more independence we have, the more freedom we have. And so if I can contribute in any way to supporting that for people, then what a fantastic way to go through life, because then we all pop. We all live the fullest life that we possibly can. And that's truly an honor for me.
I love that. I absolutely love that you share how we're in the second half of our life, and if we don't have that health, we just start to limit those choices. So I think that's a very profound statement that we forget that we think we have someday to do all these things, but it's today that we need to focus on that health. There's another quote that you share here, which I love. It goes like this: "I invite clients to challenge their own assumptions about themselves, specifically thoughts of not good enough, too scared, or not worthy yet." And there's no question that you're really focused on helping people. You mentioned pop and shine, this brilliance. Share with us, how are you inspiring others through health and wellness? What are some of your methods and processes and platforms?
Well, my favorite project right now is called Diva Defense, and just quickly, it's a hybrid of yoga, martial arts, self-defense, and self-empowerment for women over 40. And it's really interesting because the latest sort of cutting-edge neuroscientific research combined with the latest exercise physiology suggests that if we prepare the body, we can then prepare the mind to make changes. So in essence, we can teach old dogs new tricks, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So when we intentionally engage the brain and the body, which is what I do in my class, and we engage it in complex movements, so I do that through yoga and martial arts, we take about 20 minutes and we start to bring the body and the mind into alignment, and then we start to work hard in class. And what happens is when we start to fatigue, we will automatically go to a place of default. So in terms of posture and alignment, the body will settle into a place of default. So we'll kind of settle into our bad postures. We also do the same thing in our mind. So default, a lot of times, until we practice intention and awareness around this, will be to look in the mirror and say, I'm not good enough, I shouldn't be here, I don't belong with these other people. And it's specifically at that point, because I can see it happening in my students' eyes, I'll say, check in. Now's the time for you to check in first with your body, bring it back into alignment, And then I want you to check in with the voices that are chattering away in your mind. And I want you to say either be quiet or thank you very much for your opinion, but you're not welcome at this moment. And then I'd like you to replace that with another statement. Usually that begins with the words I am, which I think are two of the most powerful words that we have in our vocabulary. So I am courageous. I am beautiful. If you have nothing else to say today, then I am here. So kudos to myself for that. And so I think it's the way that I am able to bring the last 25 years of my experience to the table, say how are we going to consciously and intentionally use the brain and the body together in order to make unbelievably fast transformations for people.
I love that. I absolutely love that you're engaging in the mind and body, using the brain and body together like that. And I think the combination is extraordinary, yoga and martial arts. I love the name, Diva Defense. That's just fantastic.
Thank you.
I just want to stay in Diva Defense because this is a project you're very passionate about. So how long does it, is it a series of classes? Tell me a bit about that.
It's a curriculum-based program.
Okay.
So students, there are a lot of technical and alignment principles that we need to get the body to do so that we can remain safe first. So there are 6 levels to it. So there are 6 levels to the self-defenses that people learn, but there are also 6 levels of coachability, 6 levels of self-acceptance. So people can come, and I always suggest to people, take from this what works for you. You know, if I'm saying something that doesn't resonate with you right now or doesn't resonate with you ever, that's okay. But let's come and create a community together, and let's be here to support each other. And so from class to class, that's what we do. But then from level to level, we continue to do that same thing. So ultimately what ends up happening is people move into positions of leadership. So it's a phenomenal thing to see. Can I share a story with you?
Yeah, please.
This is actually my favorite story. I had a woman who came to my first class, really not too sure, sent me an email immediately afterwards and said, I love your class, but I can't do this. And then, it's all the I'm not enough or I'm too much of this, or and these are all the reasons why I don't belong. And I said, I will respect that boundary, but you had the most enthusiasm out of everybody in the class. So please, when we're going to be there, I would love to see you again. She came back, and I know that every class that she comes to, she fights with herself. And I've been watching as those demons become less and less and less. And so we're drawing a conclusion to this particular set of classes. And the last class, we travel through a circuit on certain days. And there's a punching circuit that all my divas seem to love. And normally that's stationary. Well, on this particular day, the last class, she had so much energy and focus, and I had been coaching them to be big, stand in the fullness of who you are, draw your line in the sand and decide where you're going to step over it. And she, for 45 seconds, she moved me around the dojo. I couldn't help it. I had to back up. And so the entire class was in absolute peals of laughter, but she was so intense. So she'd gone from being the person that said to me, I'm sorry, I can't, to being the person that said, I absolutely can, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it now.
That's a great story. You light up when you talk about that story.
Mhm.
I love how you're inspiring and helping women accept, what you call the invitation to let the light in and the brilliance out. And I just think that's extraordinary. And I could see one day, Tasha, men taking advantage of this class because it's something I believe that men would really benefit from.
I absolutely agree with that. My sort of sequence of projects, it's right now, it's women over 40. I would like to do a variation on it for women that are in their 20s and 30s. I would love to do something for teens. Because I think there's an opportunity for a lot of mentoring. I know there's a lot of social anxiety with social media that goes on today. There's a lot of bullying. There's a lot of emphasis right now on mental health issues. And I have a few younger females that are near and dear to my heart, so that's sort of the third area that I'd like to expand with women. And absolutely, I would love to work with men. And I do work with men one-on-one, certainly in my private fitness and health coaching sessions. And I think that moving into working with men, I would like to find somebody that I could collaborate with, because I'm not a man. I don't wear a skin that is male. You know, those are not my experiences. So moving forward, I'd like to collaborate with somebody to really know that I'm standing in my own authenticity, integrity, in offering a program like that.
That's extraordinary. I think it's great. I love your vision, especially with kids, and I think that's fantastic. I also love how you're creating it together and really, creating a community. There's another quote that you share, and it's one of my favorites. It goes like this: if I can contribute in some small way to lighting women up, to elevating them, to embrace their most powerful potential, and then live it in the world, I will have achieved that difference. And, I love that you're featured in the top 50 health and wellness tips, and you're sharing this beautiful message. Why is this area for the world more important than ever? This need for health and wellness, this need for your work. Why is that more vital than ever, Tasha?
Well, we face a lot of tragedy globally. I mean, there's always been human suffering that has happened. We're just more aware of it now with the technology that we have. And I think with that awareness and that understanding, we have a greater responsibility to each other. And I heard a quote a few months ago, and I loved this so much, and I don't know who to assign authorship to, but it was something along the lines of, I can't suffer enough to make another person's suffering go away. So ergo, what I can do is I can light myself up, and I can help others to do the same thing. And so with women and in people in general, living their own light out into the world, that's the way that I think that we can best help to eliminate the suffering of others. So we become strong in ourselves, we become integrated, we become aligned, we become very clear in our own focus. We then ignite circles of people around us, and then we can stand together in solidarity in order to help people that can't help themselves.
That's extraordinary. That's a great quote. It reminds me a bit of Marianne Williamson's quote, as I let my own light shine, I give others permission to do the same. So I think this awareness and this understanding that you're helping create is just fantastic. Just stay on that for a bit, Tasha. What is the difference that you wish to make in the world?
I think the thing that I'm most inspired by, Gerry, is the human spirit. I mean, it's phenomenal what we can do when we come together. And I'm equally inspired and frustrated by our self-doubt or, sometimes our self-loathing. And so for me, moving forward, any opportunity that I can embrace where we can tip the scales more towards celebrating the human spirit, moving away from competition, and bringing in each person into their own greater awareness. And I happen to do that through fitness, which I think is brilliant because that's what I know. I know that world, and I love that world tremendously. And really, it's an easy way to do it. So the more that I can walk my walk and talk my talk, then I think it inspires people around me to do the same. Or certainly, I think we inspire each other. So I think it's pretty simple at the end of the day. It requires intention and a conscious awareness and choices. It requires daily choices that we are going to honor ourselves in that way and then honor the people around us. And I hope that will be my contribution.
It certainly is. I love it. I love that you're so passionate about the human spirit, and that really resonates in your energy, resonates in your words. It certainly resonates in this live interview. Tasha, you seem to resonate with this energy of Defyeneurs and this whole everyday people doing extraordinary things. maybe share with us your excitement about this particular issue of the top 50 health and wellness tips.
Okay, Gerry, I am over the moon excited to be included in this. This has just been such a gift for me, and it really started with a meeting with Maureen Hagen, and she's been a phenomenal light in our community for many, many years now. And so truly I feel, as I'm seeing what's coming through the Facebook feed, the people that I'm sharing the space with, truly I feel I walk amongst giants. So it's a tremendous honor for me to be included in this particular issue. It's an absolute honor and a treat to work with you. What a phenomenal thing that you're doing, shining a light on ordinary people doing extraordinary things, because truly that's how we create a movement. That's how we change the world one person at a time. That's how we celebrate each other's brilliance and uniqueness and ingenuity. And you are making such a phenomenal contribution that way, Gerry. So that the stars have aligned so that I can be part of this in some small way. I just don't. I have such a profound and deep gratitude for all of this. It's amazing.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Wow, it's very touching. Thank you so much. We're truly honored to have your energy and your light in this issue, and everyone is sharing that similar energy around. They're so excited about diving into the work that you're doing, and that's what I love is as I start to connect these amazing 14 profiles along with Maureen Hagen, I think you'll see even bigger opportunity for something special. Tasha, I want to get into this final question around your legacy, and I love how you share the importance of your work into the world, but also to your family, as being a great mom. And when I see someone like you doing this phenomenal work and existing this way to really help light people up, I want you to share with us, and it's more sharing for yourself, I think, years from now when you and I are no longer here and your work has made a difference, what would you want your family to say about you? How did Tasha Hughes live her life?
That's a big question. I think what I want my family to be able to say is that she knew how to love. And everything that she did and everything that she touched was with love. And certainly I come from a long line of certainly strong women in my family and men as well who knew how to love, and that was gifted to me. And so therefore I pay that forward. And so I would very much love to be seen within the context of my family as one of the great matriarchs that knew how to love, was willing to take risks when it came around to love, taught other people in the family how to love. I've got 2 amazing stepsons, and then I have my son with me who's 9. And so if the legacy that I can create for him is that he then knows how to love and love well, and he goes out into the world and he imbibes that through his family, and then therefore everybody that they touch, it creates a ripple effect, then I will be truly, truly happy in spirit.
It's beautiful. Tasha Hughes, you're leading with so much grace, leading yourself with so much grace, making such a difference in the world. I call this profile Lighting Women Up. It's on pages 14 and 15 of the new issue of Defyeneurs, the top 50 health and wellness tips. And on behalf of Defyeneurs and everyday people doing extraordinary things, I want to thank you. I want to personally thank you for sharing your amazing gifts and your beautiful light with the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gerry.